Okay guys, so let's take a look at some of these. I'm hoping that we'll do the first 5 together and then you'll finish up to 16 here. So stop at the end of the 4th row. Okay, so just like before, we're going to look along the diagonals. All right, so the 5 will pair with the 15 and the 8 will pair with the 6. And again, the reason we can do that is because if we just switch the numerators, we'd get the same answer. So we're going to just look at these along the diagonal. So 5 goes into 5 one time, and it goes into 15 3 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and it goes into 8 4 times. And then as we multiply across, we get 4/9 as our answer. All right. I'm hoping to get to one where there's a couple things I could simplify by, just so that you can see what would happen if you don't fully simplify at that early stage. Okay, here we'll look along the diagonal here and here. 5 goes into 15, 5 goes into 5 once and it goes into 15 3 times. 2 goes into 4 twice and it goes into 6 3 times. And so 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, if you want to stop this video and do these on your own and then come back just to check your answers, that's fine. Here I'm going to go along this diagonal and this diagonal. Again, notice I'm doing them very lightly because I don't want those to become the focus. But here 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 3 once, 2 goes into 2 once, and it goes into 4 2 times. All right, then 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, so our answer is 1/2. Here we've got 4 goes into 4 one time, and 4 goes into 4 one time. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Notice I'm not even drawing the loops now because just mentally I'm seeing them. I don't need to physically do it. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 1 is 3. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to draw them, but just eventually you're going to get to the point where you don't need to because you're just going to naturally look along the diagonal. Here, 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 3 once, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 28 14 times, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 14 is 14. Let me just make up 2 problems on the back here because I want you to see what I'm talking about if you were to not reduce. Let's say we had 4/9 times, let's say we had 12/8. I realize that's an improper fraction. That's okay. Let's say, all right, here I don't have a choice. 3 goes into 9 3 times, and it goes into 12 4 times. That's the only factor that they share. But 4 and 8, I might look at that and say, oh, they're both even, so 2 goes into them. And I would say 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 8 4 times. Now you can notice then that 2 and 4 are still even and they still have a common factor. And so you could say, oh, 2 goes into 2 once and it goes into 4 twice. And then you would get 4 6. Whoops, sorry. And then this is a perfect example because that's still not fully reduced. 4 and 6 are even. So if you look, again, this has always been the way that we have factored or that we've simplified, is looking up and down. That does not stop here just because we've now learned this new method. You may still always cancel up and down. And I would say 2 goes into 2 once and it goes into 4 twice. And then now all our diagonals are simplified and all our up and downs are simplified. And this would end up being 2/3. So if you don't cancel out everything, then at the end you will still have to cancel out more. So just keep checking along the diagonals to make sure everything's simplified and up and down. All right. Okay, so you're going to do up to 16 and check the answer key to make sure that you did it properly. All right, good luck.